Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the Australian Core Skills Framework, which is a useful tool for gauging your learners' language levels. Rather than taking a guess and thinking, I guess this person has reasonable reading skills and I think that this person might need some help with writing and I can observe that person is perhaps needing a little bit of support with their digital skills in order to do their job. Well, there is a way that we can be very professional and concrete and actually really gauge where a learner is at clearly, professionally, and with a very useful tool for measuring. So let's notice that the Australian Core Skills Framework is a tool which helps us to measure and to pinpoint where our learners are at in terms of their core skills. So let's notice, what are those 6 core skills? Can you remember? There are 6, and if you've guessed, learning, reading, writing, oral communication, including listening and speaking, numeracy, and of course, in this modern day and age, digital literacy. You're absolutely right. Productive and receptive language skills that we use every single day of our life. There are 6 levels that we can consider, and they are in line with the Australian qualification levels, the AQF levels. So if you have completed a certificate level 3, then you're going to notice that certificate level 3 is very much in line with the language skills of a level 3. So we can consider language in different domains of our life. So for instance, we communicate differently depending who we're speaking with. So if you consider the way you speak and you use language with your family, do you read books? Do you do any writing with your family? Do you use digital literacy? How about numeracy? What kind of learning strategies do you need when you're in community groups or on socials, hanging out with mates on the weekend? Compare that to the language skills you would use at work. And again, compare that to the language skills you use when you're engaging in education. So depending on what you're doing every day in your life, you're going to be using language differently. And hence, core skills are at different levels for everyone and across contexts. So for today, let's consider education and training. You're a teacher and you're teaching your learners, and so we are interested in where our learners or our employees, our workers, are at with regards to their language levels. And so let's look at the levels that we can use to measure an individual's language skills whilst they're engaging in education and in learning with us. So the Australian Core Skills Framework, the ACSF, gives us a fantastic snapshot of someone's abilities at that present moment in time. Now, we are interested in noticing where they're at right now because obviously we're going to get them to a certain outcome. While they're learning with us, we want to support them in just the right way. So when they are with us, we know, okay, right now your language skills are at this level. And when you're finished learning with me, your language skills will be here. You will be able to see and notice an improvement in your skills and abilities. So the ACSF can be noticed at a snapshot or bird's eye view. This is probably the easiest way to introduce us to the ACSF and to get a very foundation understanding of how it works. On the left column, you will see the incremental numbers of 1 to 5, and level 1 being in line with an Australian qualifications level 1, and level 5 is at a higher level. And we can notice that we are looking at 4 variables within a certain skill. So when someone is engaging in language, there is a difference in the amount of support someone might require within the context that this language occurs, the complexity of the text that is involved in the activity, and as well as the tasks, instructions that are given, or the amount of processing a person needs to do whilst they're engaging with language. Get about the understanding of how the ACSF works. In the upcoming weeks, we're going to have a very practical experience in using this tool for measuring learner skill levels. For now, please notice the people you're working with. Notice the people who you might be teaching, and consider what skills do they need in their everyday to function in the workplace, and how could you notice what their skill levels are actually like? How would you collect data on their abilities? And we will discuss those in our next tutorial on Monday.